You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, guys, I want to talk about the WNBA in this video. Now, I told you guys many times before that the WNBA players are their own worst enemy when it actually comes to the popularity of their sport. It seems like these players don't get the message. I've been pretty clear. If the WNBA players truly want to grow their game, they're going to have to go out there and make the game more popular. However, they definitely want to alienate people with their political agenda that turns people off. Look at the NBA. The NBA used to be very popular, and the popularity has declined in recent years. And now the NBA finals ratings, not very good. I mean, when you look at the NBA finals ratings, 4 of the lowest rated NBA finals have happened like in the last 4 or 5 years. Yes, it has been that bad because they've alienated people with politics. Now, I said it before, guys, that the WNBA is even more woke than the NBA. You still got players now in the WNBA that still will not show up for the national anthem. Guys, a lot of people in this country are very patriotic. They are. But these WNBA players, they still want to cry victim, and they don't respect the country. Therefore, people actually will not watch the product. The WNBA has a lot of growing to do. They do. But yet, WNBA players continue to play victim all of the time. So that actually brings us to the WNBA MVP, A'ja Wilson. Guys, this is how unpopular the WNBA is. I had no idea she was the MVP. No idea. Actually, guys, I believe I done one other video on her like a few weeks back, and I never heard of her before. Why? Because the game is not that popular. These players continue to complain time and time again. Let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. Look at this here. WNBA's reigning MVP says owners need to do more for players. Now, what she's actually really talking about here is she believes that the owners are not putting enough money into the teams. The problem is, guys, the owners have already put money into the WNBA, and they're losing money. There is no money to be made in the WNBA. I mean, she has to understand this is a business. The WNBA can only do so much. But however, these players are demanding more. So let's look at some of this here, guys. Reigning WNBA MVP, A'ja Wilson wants owners to step up financial investments in their teams ahead of this weekend's All-Star festivities in Las Vegas, where the Aces star is a team captain. I had no idea the WNBA All-Star game was actually going on. No clue. Quote, "We have to sometimes look owners in the face and tell them to make a decision," Wilson told Front Office Sports. "Either you're going to give us your all in your team and go from there, or get someone in there that actually cares." Wow. WNBA teams are still limited with regard to chartered flights. Despite this year's expanded program, Wilson's Aces were even fined for breaking travel rules. Wilson says she feels blessed that Aces owner Mark Davis, quote, "wants us to be able to feel and be professional athletes, and he's treated us as such." The Aces have the only practice facility dedicated solely to a WNBA team. A disparity of the players have noticed. Quote, "People kind of hunt at the lead, obviously, because that's the easy target," Wilson said. "But at some point, you've got to start looking at owners." Well, when your team loses $10 million every single season, the problem is the money. And you have to look in the mirror. These WNBA players have to look in the mirror and say, why is our game not really growing that fast? Why? It's the players. It's just that simple, guys. The WNBA is super duper unpopular. This is something like the 26-27 season of the WNBA, and they have never, ever made a profit. But if they truly want to, increase the popularity of the game, make more money, have better facilities, why don't they look at the history of the NBA? Guys, you're going to be shocked. Some of you guys already may have known this already. But at one point, the NBA was the WNBA. It was super duper unpopular. Look at this. Remember the Lakers, I believe it was a documentary, and it was actually called Winning Time, about the Lakers. And even in this article here, guys, it actually does mention how unpopular the WNBA was. And it really does kind of echo the WNBA now. Look at this here. In HBO's Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty, Jerry Buss buys the Los Angeles Lakers, but many believe it's an unwise investment given the NBA's unpopularity in the 1970s. His mother refers to the team as a money pit. And in a meeting of NBA owners, there are jokes about the league's low TV ratings. Sounds a whole lot like the WNBA, right? This may come as a shock to modern viewers who know the NBA is one of the world's most successful sports leagues, but it is accurate of the time period of 1979 when basketball was struggling to gain popularity for a variety of reasons. Now, this is the kicker right here. Look at this here. Created by Adam McKay and using his distinctive fourth wall breaking style, Winning Time is a stylized account of the real life history of how the Lakers became the NBA's biggest dynasty, raising the league's popularity along the way. The NBA got started later than North America's other four Big Four leagues, beginning in 1945. While the NFL took advantage of the rise of television, the NBA struggled to surpass the existing fan bases of older leagues like MLB and NHL. Average attendance was around 8,000 per game. That was it, meaning arenas were often at half capacity or less. Sounds an awful lot like the WNBA. The 1979 NBA Finals did a 7.2 rating, a meager number in an era where there were only 3 networks. Many teams were losing money, and while none ceased operations, the future of the league seemed shaky when Jerry and his daughter Jeannie Buss became involved with the Lakers. That is the Lakers, not only Lakers, but the NBA in the 1970s. Nobody watched. The league was unpopular. NBA Finals were on tape delay. You know what changed the league? Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Yes, that's what changed the league. They weren't out there, moaning and groaning and complaining and trying to destroy the league. No, they went out there and made the league popular. This is the same thing that the WNBA players should be doing. Teams were losing money in the 70s. And that league actually had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in the NBA. And teams were losing money. If you want to go back a decade prior, like the 1960s, a lot of the NBA players had second jobs. Second jobs. Why? Because they weren't making the kind of money that you actually see modern day NBA players making. I believe the only players that didn't work in the offseason really were Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. And I believe that Bill Russell actually went to the Celtics and said, hey, Wilt Chamberlain's getting $100,000 a year, which is unheard of back then. And I believe he wanted a penny more, and they gave it to him. Yeah, that was in the 60s. The league struggled in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Yeah, it didn't change until Magic and Larry came along, and then Michael Jordan came in 1984, and then the league just blew up. Remember, Michael Jordan was not going out there making political statements like the WNBA is. Remember, they told everybody to go out there and vote for Warnock in Georgia, a socialist. Michael Jordan said, nah, I'm not getting into politics. The NBA used to not be political. That is how they grew. And the game was amazing. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.